So one thing just to sort of think or I guess address before we sort of move on to some strategies might be sort of just reasons why students might be misbehaving. So generally, or not generally, but a lot of the time it's just because they're disengaged. It may be that the content just isn't really exciting them. It's not engaging them. They're not really committed to sort of working through the task. So they might act out as a result. It could be that and again, this is them being disengaged, that the tasks aren't or projects that they're working on aren't necessarily the right sort of level for them. They could be too easy, they could be too hard. So that's where you've got to use your nous as a teacher to try and differentiate between students who are operating at different levels, basically, to make sure that they're able to. It's hard enough for them to for it to be challenging, but it's not. It's not too hard that they just disengage from the task and start sort of distracting other students as well. It could be that they've got some concerns from home that might be affecting their behaviour. It's certainly in London, it may be maybe more so if you've done a lot of your teaching sort of back in Australia, but certainly or in the elsewhere in the UK, certainly in London, the demographics of students are quite diverse. No matter where you go across the city, there's always going to be a diverse backgrounds of your student base, I suppose, in the schools that you're teaching in. So you just need to sort of take that into account. Just like they don't know what sort of things might be happening in your personal life at home, that any sort of baggage that you're bringing to work, then that you don't know what's going on in their sort of life at home as well. So that's where you sort of just need to sort of be aware, I suppose, and keep an eye out, especially if there's any sort of safeguarding issues that you might be concerned about. They could be anxious that they're out of their old routine. So this is actually a point that I've added in just because it's really relevant with the fact that schools are closed at the moment for coronavirus. So when students do return, that this is an issue that might pop up, and teachers might be maybe battling with if students have been out of school and out of their routine for a little while. Students might also see just an opportunity to push boundaries and muck around. I think if we're honest, I was probably maybe a bit of a handful when I was young, and part of that is just because I was an immature child, and that's going to be all part of it. You're definitely going to have those class clowns that
You
you
always
might
make
have
the
to.
best teachers, though, Angus.
Sorry.
You always tend to make the best teachers the class clowns, though, don't they?
Yeah, well, I think I found that the class clowns quite often, although they were maybe the ones that you might spend a lot of your time, focusing on behaviour management wise, they tended to be sort of, quite fun people in
Yeah.
general as well. So you can use that as a way to sort of try and a challenge to try and see what sort of strategies you can put in place to combat that. Like maybe it's a way that you try and connect with them on a different level, find out what their interests are, that sort of thing, show a genuine interest in them to sort of build that positive rapport with them, and then that might be a strategy that you use to sort of to combat that.